Record. Okay, so don't say anything you don't want to have on record from now on, because now we're recording.
Martin smells.
So first thing, can you see my screen at this point or not yet?
Yes, we can see your screen.
FRC training 2021.
Yes.
Excellent. All right. We had about 30 people that signed up for this. I don't know if we should call it a webinar or our first little meeting here, but let's see. So how many do we have so far? Doesn't really show.
17.
All right. Well, that's a good start, I guess. Well, let's get going. So first of all, welcome. Do you all know who we are here? Well, so let's do a little bit of an introduction, I guess. So my name is Morten Milling. I am, what should I call myself at this point? Ham coordinator? Whatever. And Ham is somewhere on the line. And then we have a whole bunch of pacers as well that are on, and of course the runners. And if you haven't seen yet all the pacers that we've got with us on the program, you should definitely take a look at this page, friscorunningclub.com/training pace groups. Here you'll see them all, the 7 to 8 minute gang, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10, 11, etc., and some floaters. Here you have Hamlin, myself, etc. So, also wanted to thank all the pacers, all the ones that are getting this thing together. It really takes a village. So it's a bunch of work behind the scenes, and we have about 200 people that are signed up for this year, which is a record, I believe, which is great. And on Facebook and sort of the entire community, I think we're 2,500, 3,000 people at this point. So a whole bunch of people. So, which is great. All right, so a little bit to the agenda here. Just showing a little bit of the plan, the detail for this week, going straight into the vdot logistics, and then a Q&A if you have any questions about this week or the vdot specifically, or anything else that we're talking about. So let's dive straight into it. You guys can see this okay, right? I don't need to make it bigger or smaller or whatever. Yeah. Excellent. So, okay, the plan. This is the overall structure of what we're doing here. Ham put this plan together. It's been quite a few years now, Ham, since the first time you sort of put together the overall plan, but inspired by Jack Daniels and quite a few other, 4 or 5. Yeah. So it's been a very successful plan so far, I believe. And we've had a lot of runners that just keep coming back. I don't know if it's because they like the pain that they go through, or that I have no idea what somehow it works. And there is some science to it. Jack Daniels has been a big inspiration, as I said. We also have been, we have a collective, probably 100+ years of running and coaching experience with us here. The plan that we've got is anywhere between 18 and 24 weeks. The plan starts at about 25 miles and goes up to 50. And usually what we say is we shouldn't increase more than 10% every week when you are up to that, when you're starting out from that 25 mile per week level, right? Because if you're starting out with 1 mile, to increase 10% every week, it's obviously not so, that wouldn't work too well. So, but this is generally a healthy way to put a plan together, and that's what you'll see in the plan. It has this mesocycles, which brings in this whole pyramid that you see on the side there. The base part of the program is what we're in right now. We're at the very end of it. And then from there, we go straight into the strength phase, which is actually what we're going to start talking about afterwards. Before we go into the interval phase, getting into peak performance before race day, which we have so far 12/12, which is the Dallas Marathon. So, okay, jumping from there and into our, this is still the pyramid, and this is sort of showing our journey. We started at the bottom of the baseline here and slowly moving up week by week. And this is week 7 right here. We're now preparing ourselves to go into the next phase. We are at vdot here tomorrow at 10. And you can see here that that's really what's happening. Sorry? Is that a question or just a general concern or frustration thought, maybe? Okay, anyway, vdot route, that's where we're going to do this. We're going to go into that in just a few minutes. If you have done your vdot tomorrow, we will follow the standard plan for Saturdays. I probably need to update this a little bit with, I think we can probably start at the vdot route place anyway. We'll figure that out through the week here if we're going to start there at Toyota Stadium or at the store. So either here on Tuesday or on Saturday. And if this weekly view has been kind of a little bit too complicated for some of you to look at, it's really just think about, first of all, which thread are you in? Are you on the 25-mile half marathon training? Well, then your week is down here at the bottom. And these gray areas here, they mean this is your quality day. Okay, a quality day means this is really an important session. So you should try to do whatever you can to be or to complete these sessions. So and make sure that you try to complete it as best as you can, basically. So anyway, that's where we're at, and let's jump straight into the vdots here. Okay, what is it? It's a simulated race so that you can help to establish a baseline or a re-establish a baseline fitness for where you're at. It helps to establish your the different training paces. So if you're going easy pace or half marathon pace or what have you. And it also helps to predict the finish time for whichever race, a half or a full marathon, for example, that you have there. And so we've done this for many years. And what we've seen as a pattern, especially since we're doing this in the summer months, is that if you're running a Niños, cállense. Yeah, so if you're doing this a very short distance, like let's try with an 800 meter or something like that, it's the precision of what the vdot calculator is going to give you is likely going to be less accurate than if you have a longer race or a longer distance that you're doing this for. A race would actually be better as well. So what we've said is that you really should do at least a 5K vdot test. You can do it low, you can do 1 mile or 2,000 meters or whatever too, but what we're trying to do is to do at least a 5K so that you get a good feel of what it is to run for, 25, 30, 40, 50 minutes, right? Without really relaxing. So that's a good starting point. All right. Where are we going to do it and when are we going to do it? Can you see this map here on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Okay, excellent. Are you guys familiar with where Toyota Stadium is?
I am. I live right across the street from it.
Oh, you do? Excellent. Yeah, so here's the plan. We are starting from this blue dot right here, it's the northwest corner. So what you would do in the morning or the evening here is to park at this parking lot right here. It's usually not too busy there. At least, you know, there are a few years since I had my son playing here at the fields at FC Dallas, but this parking lot was usually pretty good to park at. There's a big one here too. So starting here, and this straight line here is actually, it's completely flat, and it's pretty, we got a good possibility that there's going to be little traffic right here, which means that we can, you know, spread out a bit too. And then you run all the way over to Lamar Hunt Way, which is down here. And then straight up here, this is a little, it's not, I wouldn't call it, it's a slight incline. It's really not a lot, but it feels like you're probably you're gonna get your heart rate up a little bit more probably when you're going up here. And then the red line is a bit off here, but you kind of follow the sidewalk on the left side here. Go all the way up to All Stars, make a left on All Stars, and you have to do 2 laps, okay? It's about 1.65 or something like that to the start, which means that your second lap here, you will finish just around here when your watch says 3.1 miles. 3.1 miles is 5K. And then you record the time. We don't have any timing mats or any bibs or centralized timekeeping units or anything like that. So please record the times yourselves. If you don't have a running, that's not even a running watch, but if you don't have a running watch, you can do, you know, you can do it on your phone, or maybe we're probably going to be a few that are going to just hang out there too, so we can help you as well if need be. Because the time that it takes you to finish at 3.1 is what you're going to use afterwards to plug into a calculator that's going to help you with establishing those different paces, or establish your baseline, which will then calculate the paces that you're going to need for, especially for the next phase of your training program. And it's going to give you that predictor for what you potentially can run a half marathon or a marathon at. Any questions so far about where we're going to do this?
Nope.
That seems pretty, it's okay. The thing that I put out to the pacers and the coaches earlier on today is that I don't know exactly how the traffic is going to be at 7 p.m. tomorrow, for example. I haven't been at the fields in a very long time, so I don't know how busy it's going to be.
It's not too bad, actually.
Oh, that's good to know, Nina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's cross fingers for that, because it's really a great route to do this. So hopefully it's going to work out okay. So we do have, so to what time we're going to do this. We do have the 5 a.m. group. Do we have any of the 5 a.m.ers on right now? Not sure if we do. Eric, you're there. Okay. Have you spoken to anybody, Eric, about doing this one at 5 a.m. tomorrow, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I sent an email out to my base group, just explaining, put the map on there.
Okay, good.
And explain the start, and that we'd be there instead of at the track. So,
okay, sounds good. Mike, you had you started out sort of doing a little bit later morning runs, but I think that was on Wednesdays. Have you?
Correct.
Yes, I wasn't sure. That's why I put or later here. If somebody else would like to do a little bit later of a morning vdot as well. I don't know if anybody has asked about that.
I mean, if there's interest, I mean, I would be okay with doing a 6:30 tomorrow and then not have to worry about the evening. So I would be willing to do that if there's interest.
Is there interest? Raise your hands or talk out. Talk out.
How big is it? Is this 5K?
Yes, we're talking. So we have a 5 a.m. group and we have a 7 p.m. group. All right. So some people think that 5 a.m. is way too early and 7 p.m. not working. So
Can you guys hear me?
yes,
Yes.
Oh, good. I'm close to the
but you're kind of
damn
robot
internet.
a
Am I?
little bit.
Kinda
That's
every
stupid.
like third and a half word.
Okay. Anyways, Mike, if you want to set that up and then take off, going over there tomorrow night, and then Bobby and I'll just go to the track.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. And then we got the 7 p.m. Same place, right? Not the track, same place.
Bobby and I were gonna go to the track, but I mean, I can go to Pizza Hut Park. That's fine.
Just to
Bobby
make it simple.
can go to the track. I'll go to Pizza Hut Park. That's fine. We'll just park right there and, huh? That's fine.
Okay. So yes, this is the place tomorrow. Saturday, same thing, right? How many do we have here that are not going to do vdot tomorrow, but on Saturday? Maybe. Okay, don't know. We'll see. We'll kind of check that out tomorrow. How many have done it, and then we'll figure out during the week if we're gonna have a 6 a.m. on Saturday there. Okay,
Okay, well, hold on. Let's back
hold
up.
on, Davises.
Let's back up. So we've got a 5 a.m. Tuesday,
Yeah,
and Mike, you're gonna change the 7 p.m. Tuesday to 6:30 or whatever time a.m., correct? And
Sure.
then we've got,
Well, I have to do 7.
yeah. So I
and then-
think.
hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on. And
Okay.
then we've got we've got 2 7 p.m.s, one at this location and one at the track, because I'm going to be at the track tomorrow.
Oh,
So
you
that's
are.
4. Yes. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what Robot Hamlin was trying to say.
got it.
Robot Hamlin.
Robot Hamlin. Okay,
So I will be at the track for the 7 p.m. tomorrow.
okay. So why don't we do this? We'll make sure that we have these events in Facebook, just like
Mhm.
we spoke about, right? That we will have all the 4, I guess, events tomorrow.
Yeah,
then
4 events.
Yeah.
4 events tomorrow.
in Facebook, and then I'll also send out an email just saying, okay, can you please, if you're not on Facebook, then reply to me and let me know which one you're signing up for, because let's say nobody is coming for the 7 p.m. at Toyota, then why even have that as an option, right? So we'll do that. You good,
Sounds
Bobby?
good.
Cool.
Yep. Okay. 4.
Mike needs to make us 6:30 in the morning. That's it.
Yeah, but
Yep.
we gotta have 2 7 p.m.s too. I think we only have 1, right?
Right. There's only one.
I'll base. I'm just going to duplicate Eric's again and make it for 6:30 in the morning too. So
Okay.
And then I'll duplicate my 7 p.m. for the Toyota as well.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Okay.
well, the 7 o'clock for the 7 o'clock for Toyota is already there.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
I'm
That's
not
right.
going to
That's
adjust.
correct.
I'm not going to edit that one. Yeah. So
Okay.
we can just leave that one up,
Awesome.
and I'll just create one for in the morning.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds good. All right, so then it's let's say 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Normal warm up. Don't just go straight into a 5K, right? Do a little bit of a warm up here. Otherwise your muscles are going to be all crazy. 5 to 10 minutes warm up, do the vdot, and then 5 to 10 minute cool down afterwards. If you've never done a 5K before, or if it's a long time since you did it, don't die, right? I mean, you got to be somewhat careful, right? That you're not, a 5K is not like an 800 meter on the track, right? You got to have some reserves in there, and you got to think a little bit about pacing, right? So yeah, so think a little bit about your game plan there. We don't have medical people on staff, and we're not allowed to do anything like that, right? And we don't have any, so bring your own water. That's one of the things that it says down there too. We know how to dial 911, but please don't hurt yourselves, right? That is the main thing here. Do not hurt yourselves. If there's traffic, if there are some crazy people that are just stressed out because they got their kids they need to bring to soccer practice and they're late or whatever, just don't risk being ran over. There are a lot of crazy people out here. If it's too warm, then we will reconsider, right? We are not going to run all out if it's 110 degrees out there on Toyota Stadium. Okay, so down to general stuff. Bring your own water, check the weather, right? Don't overdress. Don't put on a whole lot of stuff. You don't need a full drinking vest and a full sort of gear if you're just going to run a 5K. You really don't need a lot at all. If you drink before the race, not right before, but if you drink throughout the day tomorrow, you should probably be okay with running the full 5K without any water. And don't stress about it. I already said that. And don't cheat yourself. Okay. Don't say, I really should be in a different pace group or whatever. So I'll just say I ran 38 seconds faster than what I really did. That's really just fooling yourself. So please don't do that. It's not going to help your progress to success in December. All right, so then we're done with the race. Now what? Please send your results to us so that we can track the results and we can sort of centrally see what the progress is and help with where you are and where you're going. Download this app, the vdot O2 app. To your phone. Sorry, I got people right over my head right now. So if you hear a lot of noise, that's what it is. If you don't want to download that app, just go to this Run Smart website. I can show you exactly where that is at. Let's see. Should have it right up here, I thought. Yes, there it is. Jack Daniels. Run Smart Project /calculator. I think I can, if I can find out where I have the chat, I can put that in the chat to everyone. There it is. So here you can put in your finish time. So let's say you can see this screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's say that you ran a 5K. It says here 5 kilometers. You finished in, let's say, 35 minutes. You hit calculate right there. And it now says, okay, you ran in 35 minutes. If you click on training here, you'll see what your, oh, we're running out of time. Okay. What your training paces are going to be, what your marathon pace is going to be, etc. So this is really giving you exactly what you need for the next phase as well. And it's very, very good. So this is your easy running. There are some advanced features to this too. And it can actually be a bit important here in Texas to put in things like, okay, what is the temperature when you're running this thing? Because temperature is actually, I don't know if you've seen parts of what I have in the running plan, but it's basically a predictor of how much slower you should run your easy paces, for example. It's easily 1 to 1.5 minutes slower when it's 80, 90 degrees outside than what you should have on race day, which is hopefully in Dallas, it's going to be 60 degrees or something, 50, 60 degrees. So that is a thing that you can think about too. But just for the ease of it at this point, you can just skip the advanced features if you'd like. Okay, so that's the training paces. If you go to the equivalent section here, it actually shows you, okay, what do we predict your half marathon race finish time is going to be? Well, it says here that at 35, finishing in 35 minutes for a 5K, that's probably going to line you up for around 2:40. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's basically how this thing is working. So that's that part. Let me bring that away. Okay, so when you've started to look at those predicted times, then it's a good idea to not only look at the times and say, oh, that looks fun, but use those numbers for something, right? Use it in part of what you do for reevaluating your expectations for your race in December or before or after. What does it look like right now? If you are currently running things like, if you're running 5 to 10 miles per week at this point, and you have signed up for a full marathon in December, you really should reconsider. Think about, okay, what is this going to work out for me this season? And that's why I'm putting things like this season here. Running is a journey. It's a long journey, right? It takes many seasons to get better. And many of us have done it for, many, many years, and we still struggle every time. So reevaluate, talk with your pacers, your coaches, have a frank talk with yourself as well. Is it achievable what I'm doing right now? Do I need to change my current pace group? Right? Do I need to go a bit faster or a bit slower? So that's basically where this is going. Okay, that's pretty much all that I got here. Hamlin, did I forget anything?
All right, I'm on a new computer. Can you hear me better now, or am I still a robot?
Oh, it's awesome.
You're good.
Okay, so what I want you to do is look at the vdot. Just play around with the numbers. Remember, if it's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow and you're running at 7 o'clock, you might not want to run that whole 3 miles. You might be able to do a 3,000, so that's 1.8 miles. That should be a good predictor. When we used to do this, we played around with the mile, and yes, people ran faster and didn't adjust their times as they were starting to fail. And then they would get in a slump, and then they wouldn't show up, and then it was just a steamroll. So at least 1.8 miles or a 3K or to that 5K, since it's going to be hot. And plug in your numbers. You want to run a 9-minute marathon. Okay, what does that look like on a 5K? So play with that number. What does that look like on a 1.8 mile run? What does that look like on a 2 run? So a 3,200. Just play around with that tonight and tomorrow, and you should have a really good outcome when you start looking at those numbers and know, yeah, I can do that. I can run that pace. That should be very doable. And then you're one step closer to greatness, right? Right, Mort, Mr. Boston?
Yes, sir. All right.
So I think it'll be good tomorrow. Just hydrate up.
All right. I think that brings us to, we got about 5 minutes left before this thing shuts down. But any questions or comments, concerns from anybody? Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I take that as a yes. All right, then that's it. We'll see you all on the fields, and if you cannot quite remember where it was, etc., we have, so if you go to friscorunningclub.com training routes here, then we do have sort of all our standard routes there, but I also put in, you can see that there's a new little tab here called vdot route. So if you click on that one, just make sure that after you clicked on it, you need to sort of hit this little arrow here, or start button, I guess. And then you can sort of see what happens, right? Ooh, so fancy. Yeah, so this is basically how it works. It stops here at the one time around, but you're gonna do 2. And you'll stop right around here, 3.1 miles. All right, I think that's all, folks.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
thank you
Mort.
very much.
Thanks, Mort. Message us, guys, if you all have any questions, okay?
Okie dokie.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Mort, appreciate you, brother.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.